Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, September the 2nd. Race number 9 at Saratoga. It's the Grade 2 Prioress, 3-year-old fillies going 3/4 of a mile for $250,000. We'll be right back with the full preview after this brief message.
Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets.
Let's take a look at the field for the Prioress. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile device. Our colleague Dave Grenning reports in his race advance on DRF.com that the number 9 Smash Ticket, who would have been one of the main contenders in this race, is going to scratch due to a foot abscess, and that helps the number 2 Hot Peppers, a very fast horse from a pace standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty big scratch with Smash Ticket. Not only was she, a serious contender to win this Prioress, but she was also speed in this race. And with her coming out, you're right, Dan. It feels like maybe the 2 horses drawn to the 2 inside posts really benefit, as does the number 6 Angitude.
Now let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. You'll see that the 9 Smash Ticket is currently on the pace projector, but visit timeformus.com once scratches are made official late Friday morning. Smash Ticket will be out. This pace projector will update. Hot Peppers has an easier time of it to get to the front this time around, but there are some stalkers and mid-pack horses with enough tactical speed that they won't let her get too far away, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think that's true also. Listen, Hot Peppers was a sort of a major contender in this race anyway. I feel like the scratch certainly does help her chances and makes her that much more tough. But as you've already alluded to, Dan, there are horses who are going to keep her within range here. And I'm sure somebody will take a run at her here and make her race a little bit around the turn.
2-month layoff for the number 1 Wicked Halo going out for Tyler Gaffalione. Steve Asmussen, this filly has won her last 2 starts. She has winning experience at Saratoga, taking the graded Adirondack last year, sprinting at 2. Now, she just won a race very easily at Churchill Downs. That was the Tepin going a 1-turn mile. She was the heavy favorite, and she came home very slow that last quarter in 26 and change, cuts back to a sprint.
I like her cutting back, just did what she was supposed to do last time in a pretty weak field. When all was said and done, got the right trip, was an easy winner. I liked her win 2 starts back as well, Dan, going 7, although that's another field that I didn't care that much for. Didn't feel like there was a ton of running going on behind her. I can't knock her form as a 3-year-old. It does feel like she's getting better with every start. Asmussen is obviously super dangerous with horses like this. She could win here. I'll wait and see what kind of price she is before I decide if I'm going to use her or not.
It's been a tough meet for a fine trainer in Rudy Rodriguez, who almost pulled off the win in the Grade 1 test with Hot Peppers last time out. Let's watch this race. It's the signature race for 3-year-old filly sprinters in America. Hot Peppers showed good speed, as is her habit. She opened up a bit on the turn, and she's going to fend off Matarea, the big favorite in this race, but the closer is going to come over the top of them, Chi-Town Lady. Maybe the 7 was just a little bit too far for her.
It might have been the distance. She runs well in here. She did get loose on the lead early. I get that the pace, I guess, was solid, you would say, but she was loose up there. It also, I get that Matarea came into it in really good form. It wasn't a super strong test either. I'm trying not to knock this horse too much because obviously she's in some ways the horse to beat right now, especially with that scratch and smash ticket. But I still feel like she has at least something to prove, Dan. Her recent form's very good. She could very easily win this race. I kind of want to bet against her if she's the favorite.
The number 3, Lady Scarlet, has won her last 3 races going 3/4 of a mile, including this race 2 starts back at Pimlico. The Grade 3 Miss Preakness, where she just found herself in a good position, parked 3 wide off the pace. She's asked for run turning into the lane. She readily runs by these horses, and she wins with a minimum of fuss. But I just don't love the field she beat in this race. She ran on turf last time out. She's now going to try to repeat the turf to dirt move that resulted in her maiden victory against high-level claimers at Churchill.
Yeah, I think the knock, maybe the 2 knocks on her at this point anyway, Dan, would be the competition that she's been facing hasn't been, certainly top class. She also hasn't run a fast race yet, so I guess she's going to have to improve in that regard. Everything else about this filly I really like, especially since Maker claimed her towards the end of last year. I think she's run really well in all of her dirt starts. She has a great running style for this race with handy speed. And as we saw there in that Miss Preakness, she can stalk from the outside. And then she has a quick burst of acceleration through the stretch. She's turf to dirt here. I think she's way better than she looks on paper, and she's going to be a price.
The number 4 is Mischievous Diane, and the scratch of Smash Ticket also helps Mischievous Diane on two fronts. A, she was no match for Smash Ticket last time out in a second level allowance race. B, she likes to be forwardly placed, and she can be right up close under Manny Franco.
Yeah, so we'll see if it really benefits her, because she didn't run great last time. She did do a lot of chasing of Smash Ticket, and that was a pretty fast pace that Smash Ticket was setting in that race. So maybe that's enough of an excuse to go back to Mischievous Diane. The problem that I had with her, Dan, the big race, the one that makes her sort of competitive, at least on figures off the layoff two back, she just had the softest trip in the world on a really easy pace that day. And this pace, maybe it won't be fast now with Smash Ticket out, but it's not going to be slow.
The number 5, Bank on Anna, is a hard-hitting New York bred. Two starts back, she had a major excuse against first-level allowance horses, where she broke a beat slow from the rail, rushed up, and was checked hard along the inside, and that pretty much ended her day. But she bounced back from that performance with a nice score against fellow state breds. Here's her run in the Union Avenue 15 days ago, where she broke a lot better, she got up close to the pace, and she storms on by.
Good performance from her here. A race that, she was supposed to be tough, although she's a 3-year-old facing some older fillies in here. It's not the greatest field in the world. She got the right trip. She wins very easily. It's a new top figure for her. All of these things are positives for Bank on Anna. It's also a pretty significant step up in class for her.
Now, although the number 6, Angitude, is moving from a restricted stake to a graded event, I'm not sure it's necessarily a step up in class, because she was in against a very classy filly in Tarabi last time out, going the mile at Saratoga out of the chute. Let's watch the stretch run of that Wilton Stakes, and she made the lead. She was unopposed, stretching out for the first time. She comes off the rail into the stretch. She fights really hard all the way down to the wire, Mike, and I don't mind her cutting back at all.
Yeah, I actually like her cutting back. She runs fine in here going the mile. Just doesn't quite see it out. It's also worth pointing out, you mentioned how good Tarabi is, and certainly could be. Even the horse that outfinishes her for second there up the rail, Goddess of Fire, she'd class up very well in this kind of a Prioress as well. It was a good field. I thought Angitude more than held her own in there, and I think the shorter distance benefits her.
If the pace heats up, it could help a horse like the 7, Sterling Silver, who was a no-match fourth behind Hot Peppers in the test last time out. Now, her 2 runs over wet tracks were in against grade 1 competition. Maybe it was too steep. Maybe she also didn't like the footing. 2 back in the victory ride, she was again behind Hot Peppers, but she'll come running at the end of this race. The question is whether she's good enough.
Yeah, that was my question too. I'm kind of thinking that she's not good enough, but we'll see. I guess they're going to take one more shot. I have no problem with the races that she ran in the victory ride or the test stand. She had, perfectly good trips in those races as far as I could tell. She did her very best. She tries really hard. She's just not good enough.
The 8 is Half Is Enough, and she won her first 3 starts for the excellent Michael Trombetta barn. They ran her in the victory ride. She tried very hard, and she was beaten less than a length by Hot Peppers. I'm not interested in the most recent turf outing. She's back to dirt. She has a nice outside post position, and she has upside. She now just has to run a little bit faster.
Agreed. I like this horse. I do think that there's a chance she'll eventually get there as far as figures go. The only, real problem that I had with her, Dan, and I like all of her dirt races, is the victory ride. That felt like the kind of race that she could have won if she was just good enough. I mean, she just wasn't quite good enough that day, but that was only a 4 or 5 horse field, but 3 of them contested the pace in front of her, and she just sat a perfect trip and then couldn't get by Hot Peppers, who was part of that pace. So I didn't love that performance, but it was certainly a step in the right direction for her, and she could improve again.
The 9 Smash Ticket has been withdrawn from this race, will be officially scratched on Friday morning. So we'll move to the 10, Union Lake, very lightly raced daughter of Speightster. She's won both of her starts on fast going, including this first level allowance race at Saratoga earlier in the meet, and she sat a very nice position on the outside. She made a move after this horse on the lead, and that horse on the lead repealing, really just trying very hard inside of Union Lake, and Union Lake finally puts her away in the final 16th. I like the way she finished this race off. Another filly with a good outside post and tactical speed.
Yeah, agreed. I thought she ran well in here. It's worth noting, too, that Repealing, the horse that she, dueled down in the stretch, did come back to win with an 87 buyer. That horse is not bad. So good performance for Union Lake. I really liked her return from the layoff as well, Dan, when she broke her maiden. I could easily see her improving again in this race, and she's a great price on the morning line.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Top Pick time for the Grade 2 Prioress on Friday at Saratoga. You're going with Lady Scarlet. She's getting back to her best surface. This is her best distance, and she has tactical speed. And I really think she'll be a playable place, despite the fact that she's already a graded stakes winner, because she kind of lacks a little sizzle.
Yeah, that's why I took her. I do think she could get overlooked in here, even though she's a multiple stakes winner sprinting on the dirt. The figures aren't there, and that might lead people to go in different directions here. It's not an easy spot, but I do think she classes up with this field, Dan, and I love her running style for this race.
I'm going to go with your second selection, the number 10, Union Lake. This scratch, unfortunately, is going to hurt her price. Very square on the morning line. Like the tactical speed, like the upside potential. Johnny Terranova sending out some live horses. 3-10-6-1 for Mike, 10-6-2-5 for me. It's the Grade 2 Prioress on a nice Friday card at the Spa. Good luck.